welcome back to the Old Grappler. Today I'm here with Kiko. The Old Grappler just awarded my blue belt. I've been coaching wrestling for about 14 years now. When I get in there, it is like everything just goes away. Like you're in there coaching on the mat for Jiu-Jitsu. It's a way of therapy. The Old Grappler. I'm Castro's full service. What am I saying? Check. I'd like to say thank you to our sponsor, Castro's Pool Service and Repair. Phone number 209-675-5418. I am Castro's Pool Service and Repair. Thanks. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Shit, man. Francisco Kiko Gonzalez. Been training since like 2010, roughly. And shit, and here we are. 2023, still going strong.
Black belt under?
I'm black belt under Caio Terra. I got my black belt actually under Claudio Franza in 2017.
Okay.
And then I train over at Caio's, and now I'm here at Solidarity.
So what brought you to Jiu-Jitsu?
My boy Big Ben. I said I was training at Frank Shamrock's back a while back in 2009 or so, and then went and trained with my boy Ben and his boys in the garage, and beat me up a little bit in the garage. I was training in the garage for like 6 months or maybe a year or so with Ben. Mm-hmm. And then I went to go train. Before all that, I went to go train with him and a couple of his friends that were doing jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. And they just put it on me. And it's time to start training. I was like, oh shit, I got beat up.
Got hooked.
Got hooked, man. I got hooked on not wanting to get beat up.
Makes sense. So, before you decided to train jiu-jitsu, any other martial arts?
No, nothing at all. I've always wanted to do like karate or taekwondo, anything really. Mm-hmm. Just a kid growing up, watching all the kung fu theater stuff and just kind of mimicking all that, Bruce Lee and then I watched boxing, but I never boxed. I did a little bit of wrestling in junior high, but I didn't stick with it. I kind of lost my way in high school, getting into high school. So, but never did anything, no martial arts, no formal martial arts.
Mm. So training since, you said 2008, 2009?
2009, 2010.
And here we are, so 13, 14 years in.
Yeah.
Kiko, do me a favor, put the mic on your left side. Good.
Good.
Aesthetics are off, bro.
Yeah. he's not even paying attention.
I have.
So, started training, and then you had this idea for Koffee Krew.
No, Koffee Krew kind of just, really how it started was with Ben when I was training in the garage. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a gym, right? So we basically, what we did was we matted up my garage. I got really into training. I was actually doing a little bit of boxing. Mm-hmm. With Clint Coronell. He used to train at Shamrocks. I think he's at AKA now, coaching over there. But we would have him come in, I think, once a week and do like a boxing class. And then I was doing jiu-jitsu, but I didn't have, I was watching YouTube. Mm-hmm. And then Ben, he was a blue belt. He was living in Riverside at that time, going to school. Mm-hmm. And so he would just come back on the weekends. And so what we were doing was he would come on the weekends, show me some stuff on the weekend, mm-hmm. and then there's like 5 of us that were in my garage. And so we just basically recycle everything he taught us, or we would watch some YouTube and do that. And it was all Nogi, right? I wasn't doing Ghee at all. It was all Nogi. So I was doing boxing like once a week in the garage, and I got super into it, right? Or we're doing kickboxing sometimes, and then do jiu-jitsu 2 or 3 times. Mm-hmm. And then, Kenny, it was like 5 of us, 4 or 5 of us, my boy Chris, Tony, there's a few other guys that were in there. training together, and we were just recycling that. And so since I didn't have a gym, I didn't have nobody to train with. I mean, I did. I had my guys, but we didn't have a gym, right? So when Ben would come up, we'd go to different gyms sometimes, like with his connects, right? With Carlos over from Gilroy, BJJ. We go to Salinas. We just go to different gyms. And that's kind of, I think, how it started, right? It unofficially started like that way, where we just go visit different gyms. I have somebody to train with, right? And just meeting people that way. So, and then, you can only be in your garage so long.
So when you were doing it back then with Ben and like going and seeing other gyms, was it really open mat or was it?
No, we were going to classes.
Oh, okay.
We'd go to a class.
Okay.
It was most of the time it was always a class. It was rarely an open mat. But we'd go, like I said, they were his friends usually. So we'd go, no drop-in fear, nothing. We'd just go over there and train with them.
Okay.
Right? And then we just go and you see how you do, whatever. And then, I get beat up by this guy or that guy. He does something. Go back to the garage like, oh, this is what this guy did to me, right? And so we kind of work it out. But that's kind of how I think the seed got planted, right? Just so by the time like the garage thing was, we're still doing it, but it was like, it's very inconsistent and you got 4 or 5 guys there, right? Sometimes it's only 2 people. So finally I decided just to go ahead and join a gym. And so I was kind of looking for a place to train at, and I didn't want to do Ghee. I wanted to do Nogi. So I wanted
really?
I wanted to do Nogi. I was like, nah, I don't want to do the Ghee, dude. I want to do the Nogi. But there was really not many gyms that were just doing Nogi.
Right.
So I ended up joining Claudio's, because that's where Ben was at. Well, actually, it was even before that. There was an affiliate of Claudio's that I joined, and I was there. But we would cross train with the Claudio guys and stuff, right? So that's where I was at. And so they had MMA, they had a little bit of Nogi, and then they had Ghee. So it slowly just.
Slowly they just pulled you into the Ghee.
Got the lapels and just come here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean that's I guess the long way around. But eventually, we wanted to get another training day in, right? Eventually, it was like, okay, my kids already had kids, so I was like 33 or something. I don't know. My kids were like 10 or something. I don't know. So Sundays became that extra day where I was able to get into the gym and train. It was just me, Ben, Fernando, I think Armando, the mummy. It was just a couple guys would show up, just a few of us, and just that was we were just doing that for a while, just kept getting at it, you know what I mean? But it was open mat, it was open invitation. I think I was a blue belt, purple belt, blue belt. But it just slowly built from there, and then it was like officially Koffee Krew later on, but it was never like a full intention of saying, oh, this is what we're going to do and this is what we're going to call it. It wasn't like that at all.
But now it's
growing. I mean, we went from 3 guys regularly to, like 30, 40 people almost every Sunday, right? Sometimes a lot more. But 30 is pretty average. 30 is like, there's been a couple of times like, oh, it's kind of light today. It's like, there's 30 heads on the mat, dude. Yeah. On a Sunday at 7:30 in the morning. That's not light. That's decent. It's good.
Right.
Compared to 3.
Yeah, for sure. That's like what you're saying. And for you guys, that's exactly what it is for me. Like before I got hurt, right? Getting that extra day in. Yeah. And then being able to come and wherever it was, go and train with people that are not in your gym, that don't know what your game is, to try to work the kinks out.
Yeah, right? That's how you fine tune your game, right? Because they're going to give you a different reaction.
Right.
Like if I train with you all the time, I know what you're going to do, right? You know what I'm going to do. So we're kind of trying to beat each other to the punch. But when you're training with somebody else who doesn't know what you're going to do, right? You start to do your move, they're going to react a different way.
Right.
You might just hit your move, I don't know.
Right.
But and then they got to work it out at that point, right? But
that's
where you work the kinks out.
Sometimes it's good that like you get someone that has a different counter. Yeah. And then now you have to counter their counter. Yep. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So. And it's funny because we just started doing open mat on Friday nights at our gym. Like, it's kind of in-house right now. And we had 5 guys last night. And I was just trying to explain to them, like, this is the time that you try what you've been taught, see what works for you, see what doesn't, see why, like, see how you could implement it into your game. Like one of the guys, he does a lot of stuff that's good, but then he's losing position for submission.
Yeah.
And after, I'm like, exactly what we do when I come here, right? We roll, and then that minute break, there's a little bit of coaching in between the two guys, right?
Yeah.
So last night, the guy was going for armbar. He had mount, and he went S mount. And I'm like, you could finish it from there. You don't have to fall to your back.
Yeah.
Coach showed us this, like, put your hands in position. And I just let him walk through and finish the armbar. But it's those situations that you're able to help someone else grow.
Yeah.
Like, I see what he's doing, so I'm able to defend. And I want him to be able to finish, and I want him to be successful. But at the same time, like, I let him get stuff where in the past I wouldn't be so comfortable. Now I'm a lot more comfortable, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't even matter, right? It's like at that point you're training. So if you get caught, you get caught. Who cares?
Right.
It's no big deal. You're gonna get caught a million times, right? Hopefully.
Yeah.
Right? And you just gotta work out those kinks, or you gotta do your attacks, right? And start figuring that out. You're gonna lose it a million times.
Right.
Until you fine tune it to the point where you're not gonna be losing it as much, hopefully.
Right.
Right. But I mean, shit. One of our guys the other night here, I think it was Thursday night, I was playing around, grab his lapel, and I've been working I've been trying to do more takedowns. So I'm grabbing his lapel, and I'm kind of being laxed. Next thing I know, he traps my arm, basically got a 2-on-1, but he's almost wrist locking me, right? And I'm like, oh, I gotta get out. Next thing I know, man, he's on my side, and poof, my leg comes out, wham, on my back.
Oh.
I'm just like, damn, right? And it's funny because that's the stuff I've been trying to work. That's the stuff I've been teaching and trying to work on myself. And he hit me with it, but it's like, it was good. It's like, okay, I can't be so relaxed, right?
Right.
I gotta get my position and not let him get so deep to the point where I can't even get out.
Right.
But I was happy. It was funny. He took me out. I was like, hey, all right. Tried to erase it from his memory, but it didn't work.
No, he's on cloud 9 at that point, right? They got the teacher down.
Yeah, so he got me, but it was good though. You need that, right? It was good for me. It's good for him, right? Juan got me. So it is what it is.
You didn't have to plug his name.
It's all right. No, yeah. You do.
Hey, he's all, but I know who it was. It was me. I'm the one.
Hey, I'm just saying, Fernando was watching and he was laughing, man. Terminator was laughing. It was like, oh man. But it's good though, man. I have fun doing it.
Hey, can you pull up the film? I see all the cameras.
Yeah. It will be released soon. I already saw the video. Fernando's got it for sure. Like I said, I tried to erase it from his memory.
So you talked about how at the beginning, when you first started training, you were a lot of Nogi. Preference now?
I like both. There's a difference, right? The Ghee, I can slow it down, usually, right?
Oh, I'm learning.
but when you grab, it's like nice and slow, right?
Yeah.
The Ghee's just a little bit faster, but I'm getting because there was a long break for me for the Nogi, right? I would do it once in a while because where I was at, they didn't really have the Nogi. Then over at Caio's, I wasn't able to make the time for Nogi, right? Because of work. I would drop in when I could, but for the most part, I just, like once in a great while, I'd be able to get there. Now I'm teaching Nogi, right? So it's like trying to balance it out and fit it in now more, right? As far as my learning goes, because I'm teaching, and most of my game, a few years back, I made the decision to, I don't try to play the lapel game too much in the Ghee. try to save my fingers as I'm getting older, right? And trying to play a game where I can do Ghee and Nogi, right? Where they'll complement each other.
Right.
So that I actually made that decision a few years ago. So my game's kind of the same in both.
Okay.
So I'm able to kind of put them together, but now I'm just trying to add more like the foot locks, trying to get into that more. Takedowns, obviously, instead of always pulling guard. But, they're just trying to put everything together.
From the wrestlers, no problem pulling guard. There's nothing wrong with that anymore.
No, but you got to combine them though. That's what I've been learning, right? You got to be able to combine your guard pulls and your takedowns together, right? So that the person doesn't automatically know he's gonna pull guard no matter what. That fool's pulling guard. He don't got no takedowns. Like I want to have an option.
It's funny. Last night, one of the guys stood up. He's like, I don't want to go down to the ground. I'm like, but you want to stand up with me.
It's like, oh, you're going to go down.
He's all, oh, yeah, you're the wrestling coach. I'm going to go back down.
But you can learn from that. That's the thing, right? You can learn from that, right? At some point, you're going to be on the ground. So either you're going to pull guard or you're going to get a takedown or get taken down. Mm-hmm. So.
It's funny that we've gone to 2 seminars in the last month. We went to one at Sensei Studios in Modesto, and then we went to one in San Lorenzo a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I'm just coming back from the injury, right? So landing hard still kind of gives me a little bit of discomfort. Mm-hmm. So when we were at both the seminars, they started with takedowns. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm just coming back. I can't get fucking thrown to the ground.
Yeah.
But I did them, and they did the takedowns on me, and it was good to know that, like, even though I had that in the back of my head, once the training got going, it like kind of went out of the.
Yeah. Sometimes just a good warm up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The older you get, the more you got to warm up.
Telling you.
Yeah, so, I like it. I like to do little flow rolls or something. Every time I've gotten injured, most of the times I've gotten injured is because I didn't warm up. Mm-hmm. And so I like to do a little warm up for myself. Even in open mat, the first couple of rolls I get, I try to just kind of flow a little bit. Or if it's somebody, like sometimes I'll get a white belt or blue belt and they don't know that we're flowing, right? It's like, or they don't know how to flow, so I just let them do their thing, right? And I just try to stay tight, move around a little bit with them until I start feeling that little bit of sweat moving, or getting the body temperature coming up. It's like, okay, I can start moving now.
Yeah.
But I have to warm up. If I don't warm up, most likely I'm getting hurt. So sometimes I'll get beat up 2-3 rounds. Cool, no problem. Get the sweat going. All right, I'm good. I can roll.
Now I could. Now I could expand.
I could spread my wings.
The Tin Man's got the oil in the joints now.
Yeah, I gotta lubricate the joints, man.
So, Solidarity. This is your gym here in San Jose.
Yeah, it's me and a couple guys, right? Me, Ben, Fernando, and Kirby.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just opened up in February. So it's we've been talking about it for years.
6 months now.
Yeah, almost 6 months around. Pretty close. Almost there. But yeah, we've been talking about it for years, right? For a few years now. Mm-hmm. But with COVID, obviously.
Yeah, that threw a monkey wrench into everything.
For sure. But it all worked out better, right? We're actually going to get a spot right over here, like 2 doors down, about half the size. And that was the original spot we're supposed to get. There was actually a Taekwondo school here.
Oh, okay. And
so then during COVID, they bounced out, they left. And so then talked to the owner, and he was like, I'd take that spot instead. I'm like, we had, willing deal a little bit, but we ended up with the spot. So it's twice the size, right?
Yeah.
Bigger space, it's nicer.
Nice.
We got the storefront and everything. So we're still working on a few things here, but more than anything, trying to, because we have the curriculum, right? We're affiliated with Caio's. So we have the curriculum, learning the curriculum here, fundamentals. Right now it's all fundamentals, A and B. We had an advanced class in the beginning, but nobody's ready for advanced, right? It's a new school, so all white belts.
Oh, yeah.
So, but it's been good though, because even teaching, like I've taught before But now I'm focused on teaching. I'm studying, which I've never been known for. Right? not even in school. But I've been studying the moves, and it's stuff that I already know. But it's always nice because some of that stuff, like I said, you'll do moves, and or you'll learn moves, and you'll never use them until it's time, right? Until like, oh, this move right here works perfect right here, and then you start using it. It's like a perfect example for me was I learned it's like a basic side control. You block the hip and you get the crossbody on top, the arm. I learned that at white belt. And to me, it was just garbage at that moment. I was a blue belt maybe. But anyways, I learned it. I was like, this is garbage. Like, how are you going to hold somebody down like this? You know, there's too many openings, right? Fast forward about brown belt. One day I was in side control. I've always liked side control. And I blocked the hip and I blocked the arm. Oh, this position is great. Right? Oh my God, this is why did I never do this before, right? And it was like, and then I went and watched some videos and stuff, trying to tighten it up a little bit. You know, you got the arm bar, you got kimuras, you got all kinds of stuff right there. Right. But it's just at blue belt, I didn't see none of that. I just thought it was garbage. Like, I'm never gonna do this. Now it's my go-to. Right. So it's always good to like I said, you learn these moves, you forget a bunch of them, and then later on when you're ready, you'll get those back. Right? You'll remember, oh, okay, I remember this move right here, boom. And you start doing it, and now it's time for you to use that move. So it's something you just got to fine-tune, you know, fine-tune your game.
It's crazy how much that you learn and don't use, right? Like, there's so many different sequences that you, like, I see stuff, especially like, we'll go back to last night that one of the guys threw up armbar, and he didn't catch the armbar, but he had a triangle, but he didn't see it. Yeah. And I'm like, what are you waiting for? I'm kind of coaching him through, like, what are you waiting for? It's there. And he's looking at me like where? Dude, we've been practicing triangles. Coach just had you practice triangles like a week or two ago. How did you forget? I'm like, kick up the triangle.
It's tunnel vision, right? It's good tunnel vision when you're in that moment.
Yeah.
He saw an armbar, and that's all he saw.
Right.
Right, but that's the difference between, you know, I guess some belt levels, right? You get the levels of the game, because it's not always just the belt level. Sometimes some white belts see way more than somebody who's been doing it for a long time, right? Right. But, you know, at the elite level, those fools got options. Yeah. You know, they see them. They see all the options.
Yeah. I mean, he had the deer in the headlight look when I told him. I'm like, you have a triangle there. And then, you know, I let him work on throwing it up and getting it pretty close and then working on defending it.
And that's one of the things, like, I've been trying to tell the students here is, like, you got to put yourself in the positions, whether it's defensive or offensive, right? Put yourself in positions that you want to work on, right? I'll put myself in certain positions and I try to work on them. Right. Sometimes it doesn't work out too great for me. And sometimes it works out great because now I'm starting to see, okay, this is what I want to do. I'll just try some stupid shit sometimes. Yeah. Right? Just nothing crazy, nothing to hurt anybody. Right. Yeah. Like, not like a spaz move you're not going to see me like doing flying triangles, flying R. Like, I don't leave the floor, not even if I'm playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not, you know, I'm not super athletic. I'm not doing the cartwheel passes and all that stuff. Right. Dude, that's not my game. But sometimes I'll just put myself in certain positions. I'll try to like do some moves, you know, whatever. Just try something. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So, and it's always fun to do those moves, right?
Well, when you're doing those other things that you're more not comfortable with per se, it just helps you get comfortable. Yeah. You know, one of the guys last night, like, I was on top, and I know he's new. I'm not putting a ton of pressure on him, right? But I'm working, and, you know, I submit him, and then, like, usually, you know, open mat, you submit, you sit back down, bump hands, and start over. And he's like, no, stay on top. Like, I tap, but keep the pressure. I need to learn how that pressure feels. Like, I got to get comfortable with it. Yeah. You know, and we were talking about breathing last night. That was... If anything, last night's open mat with the guys that were there were like, emphasize breathing like to way up here, right? Like
That's one of the biggest things that people don't even think about, right? People's like, you want to learn these moves, you want to do this, but it's like sometimes you just got to be able to breathe.
yeah,
Right? You just got to take your time, get in a defensive position where you're, safe, right? And just be able to breathe through it so you're not hyperventilating, you're not turning purple, you know what I mean?
right.
You're sitting there, you're able to go through it, and you're able to think, right? And I think I told the guys the other night, right? It's like you got to be able to not panic. And
Yes.
so when you panic, it's like, oh, okay, there's a difference between hitting the oh shit button, right? And be like knowing that you have to move, but you're making the decision you have to move.
Right.
You're not just panicking and, just doing whatever it is because you're panicking. That's completely different, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be able to know when you're in trouble or when you're gonna be in trouble is even better. Right?
Yeah.
So you can start defending ahead of time, right? But if you're waiting to the very last minute and then just panicking and trying to just spaz out of it, that's not good.
Right.
Right. So, it's like I'm trying to just get everybody to be able to, like I said, just breathe, be able to analyze the situation and try to go from there.
Right.
The worst thing is going to happen is you're going to tap.
Yeah.
Or somebody's got good solid pressure on you. Right.
Right.
So, but other than that, I mean, you're going to be fine. Right. You just got to be able to relax.
I did. And that goes with breathing, right? Like,
Yeah.
Rolling with those guys, they're trying to, all of them are white belts. They're all trying to go 100 miles an hour.
Or the guys that come in, right? They're just like, they're
Yes.
grabbing you. They're just like, they don't want to move. It's like,
Gas out their arms.
yeah, it's like you're just holding me and you're stiff. You're not moving, or you're trying to do the move and you're super stiff, so you can't do the move. You got to relax. You got to be loose.
Yeah.
You got to tighten up when it's time to tighten up.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to be able to flow through the whole thing. But that takes time. It's like now you can say, but I'm sure I was the same way.
Oh,
I think we're all the same way,
Yeah,
right? Just like you're just like you're grabbing, you don't know what the hell to do, and you think that you have to be stiff. You gotta be loose, and then when it's time, now you stiffen up a little bit, right?
I remember when the beginning when they told me to wear the gi, and it wasn't very many times that I wore it, but when I wore it, like hanging on, like grabbing it, and then overexertion, right? Like just thinking that you hold on tight to it. Well, I've learned now that you don't need to hold on tight.
Nope.
No, just get a grip, like curl the lapel or curl the sleeve. And you don't have
Specific grips, right?
Yeah, you don't have to be clinched to hold that kind
You
of.
don't even have to hold it if you don't want to.
But these guys are like, they're barely learning how to use the gi as to their advantage, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm using the gi to my advantage.
Yeah,
I'm slowing them down.
Yeah, that's
right?
the idea, right? But
And
the same way that you're using it for your advantage, somebody else can use it against you, right? And
absolutely.
you got to recognize that too. And if you're too busy just hanging on, well, they're probably feeding the grips and getting a cross choke on you or whatever, getting ready to take you out. So it's all being able to assess your situation and see where you're at. Sometimes it's too late. I've been there too.
Oh yeah. One of the guys last night, I had a cross choke on him, and he was trying to cross choke me at the same time. But he didn't have the position, and he was stiff, and like I let him work, but I was just doing that slow tighten, and then he went to adjust, and I would just, and all of a sudden he tapped, and then he rolled over, and he's like, whew, I seen the tunnel in that one. Like it just, I said, sometimes it happens fast, sometimes it may be slow and creep on you.
It starts to just kind of close down.
Yeah.
That's happened to me a couple of times. Right? Even when Fernando's showing the move, right? It's just he's showing the move, and I'm the uke, and I'm trying to hold on, like just so people can see the move. Like you got to see the whole move, and I'm just trying to be like, just relax, just chill. And I'm like, oh, hold up, like it's going dark. Give me a second, right? And I like even with that, like something happens to me sometimes where he'll do it, and it's like my shoulder starts to twitch. I guess it gets so deep. I'm just like, Like, hold up, right? This will go away right now. My shoulders just twitch, and I go, wait, and then I guess I get the brain or the blood back in my brain, and then I'm okay, right? But it starts to go dark. I hear the little womp 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 in my ear, and my shoulder starts to twitch. Like, oh shit, I better tap now. It's like, hold up, get somebody else for a second.
Yeah. So, through the years, have you competed?
I competed more, I think, at white belt, blue belt. I competed a lot more. I never did the IBJJF tournaments. I stayed more local. Just I didn't have the money or time to be traveling and spending time away from the family to go do those things. But I did compete a little bit here and there. I competed at purple, and then I only did a few at brown belt. And then at black belts when I switched schools, so it's kind of like, I haven't competed at all at black. I do plan to. It's one of the reasons I've been trying to work out and stuff too, right? Get back, between work and training and teaching, and it's like the full day. It's a full day, so it's just like I haven't really gotten that groove that you want to be in when you want to compete, right? So I feel like I'm getting there though. I've been working out with Matt over at Victory. Victory High Performance. So been feeling a little bit stronger. But I've been feeling better, right? Because usually I'm a little bit of a knucklehead, right? So it's like
we all are.
It's like I start lifting weights by my, and like I was telling you earlier, right? It's like I get in the groove of things that I like to do, and I'm comfortable doing them. And then I get to a point where I can do the weight. I can definitely lift it, but after I'm done, my back hurts, or like I'm doing something wrong, obviously, right? But I'm hurt, or I'm too sore to train, or I'm too tired. Right.
But then you're still there.
Yeah, I'm still there, and then then injuries happen on top of that, right? So, but actually working out over there is because I'm not doing everything that I want to do. He's saying, okay, you need to do this, and this, right? This is your path. Boom. Okay, cool. So he's giving me workouts, different things to do, things I would have never thought of doing, right? And I do feel better put together, as far as healthier, right? I'm not my back's not hurting as much no more, so things like that, right? So I think I'll be competing hopefully pretty soon. I want to get down to middleweight, get back down to 175, so I can do that 181. 181 and a half, whatever that is. But I'll be doing, what is it, Masters 4 maybe now? So
you're up there with me.
I'm there. I think it's Masters 4, yeah. So I'm 46.
So something local?
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, the IBJJF is here now, right? So they come to San Jose, Santa Cruz, they're in the area. So, but yeah, I'm trying to just do maybe the US Open or do the Jiu-Jitsu World Leagues or whatever. So.
Yeah, we've done a few of the Jiu-Jitsu World League, and just for the organization of their tournament and getting you in and out, man.
So at Brown Belt, I did one of their tournaments, and I hadn't competed in a while, so I just signed up and I just took off over there by myself. I didn't tell nobody.
My favorite kind of sign up.
I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna sign up. I'm gonna go compete. I didn't tell Fernando. I didn't tell Ben. I didn't tell nobody. So I just got my gear. Boom, took off. I think it was in Hayward, and I competed. And I did the Ghee and the Nogi. It was small. I think it was a few years back, right? Obviously, it's been like 6-7 years because so I've been a black belt I think almost 6 years now, and so then I went and I competed. But I had the same guy for Nogi and Ghee, and it's a round robin, right? So I basically had 4 matches against the same guy.
Right.
So we did 3 matches, and by the 4th, I won all the matches. And it wasn't, the guy was like, I think he was from 10th Planet, but he threw the Ghee on. So I beat him twice in the Ghee. And then the Nogi, like I said, I had made the decision years back to kind of try to have a game that would, mesh with Ghee and
both.
Nogi. Yeah. And so then I hit him with the same move in Nogi. I hit a little armbar from top side control. And I did it again to him in Nogi. And so by the time we were gonna have our fourth match, he was like, "Ah, it's cool. It's all good, dude." so but it was cool. It was a good tournament. I enjoyed it. I didn't know it was a round robin. So I was getting ready to go. Like, no, you got another match. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it's just us two. It's like, no, it's got the same guy again. All right, cool. Then let's go.
I think that's good. Like that same thing that's happened to me. Like I did Ghee, Nogi, and fortunate enough I had a different guy in Nogi than I did in Ghee, but I fought both of them twice.
Yeah. No, I liked it. It was good. It was a good tournament. So I might just do that one.
I think the one, like, we've gone to the ones in Stockton, and just their timing of everything.
Oh,
they're
on point.
pretty on point. Like they
Yeah.
get there an hour before to weigh in, and then so mine is usually 4 o'clock to weigh in, 5 o'clock to be on the mat, and it's been boom boom, and
Oh, that's good.
by like 6 o'clock I'm already all right. Let's go home.
Yeah.
Right. The time I did Ghee and Nogi, I did 5 o'clock for Ghee, and then the start time for Nogi was 6. So,
Yeah,
but
so
it was like 40 minutes.
it was quick, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had three matches pretty much almost back to back. I said we did the Ghee, and then they had a couple other guys go, and then we're back on again. Boom, it had a couple guys go, and then they're like, "Oh, you're doing the Nogi. Let's go." So I was like, "Cool." It just took. I don't even remember. I think I had just my Ghee pants on. I didn't even have shorts, if I remember right.
Yeah.
But either way, though, it was a good tournament. It was good. So I do want to get back. The one thing I said, I want to lose a couple pounds. I'm not too far off. I'm about 185 right now. So I've actually
you're
lost about
close.
10 pounds since I started working out over there too. So
Oh, nice.
changed the way I eat a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I still got more work to do.
The tacos.
I like In and Out and tacos, bro. So it's a big sacrifice to me, right? Some sacrifices ain't worth making. But yeah, no. So talking to Matt, he's like, "I'll just do 194 because you'll be fine." I was like, "Damn, I competed at 194 once." So and the dude was big. He was a big 194. I'm a small 194.
Yeah.
I'm a tiny 194. But I saw a video of that match. I was a blue belt, and I swear there's at one point in that video in that match, whoever was recording from the backside, and you just see this dude's back. And my little legs over here. You see my little hands over there. It's like you don't even see me.
Wow.
The dude was like he wasn't heavy. He was like jacked. And I was like, man, that fool was strong.
It's funny because there's a guy that I competed against that's at Sensei Studios in Modesto, and we went to that clinic or the seminar a few weeks back, and like there's nothing but big guys over there.
It's Modesto.
I'm like, holy shit. He's like, this is like, we have a good big guy crew. And then he had just competed at Worlds or the Open down in LA. And he's like, dude, and he's a good sized guy. He's taller than me. He's a little bit heavier than me. But he's like, I was the smallest guy.
Damn.
And these guys was like 4 or 5 inches taller than me.
Damn.
And no one was like chunky. Everybody's just
Jack.
tall and burly.
Taking that acai, huh?
Yeah. The little something. So I'm like, well, fuck. He's bigger than me, tall wise. Like, and I'm like, well, shit, I need to figure something out, because stand up and...
But there's something to be like, I don't know. I mean, at that weight, I don't know if people are necessarily cutting weight, right? Because you're at the top, basically, of the weight category. But I've always competed middleweight. I usually walk around like 175. That's if I'm eating somewhat okay and working out consistently and stuff. I get to 175 pretty easy, right? so I can compete at 181. I'm not a big middleweight, but I'm not small. I'm like average, right?
Right.
Middle of the road type dude, right? But once I go up, I'm the small guy,
Yeah.
right? And if I go down, I'm probably just still average, right? Because some of the I don't know if it's featherweights or whatever there. And plus, I don't want to lose that much weight. Right? I want to cut. Right?
For one turn.
I was yeah. Cause no, 'cause the thing is too. Like at one point, I was at 170, like walking around, but I was working. I was doing CrossFit and this and that. Right? I was at 170. I was having salads and all that. Right? And I would roll with Ben. I rolled with Big Ben. Ben was like, and he was doing. We're both doing CrossFit and everything together. He was pretty healthy at the time, right? So he was like 220. Right, and that's small for him. Right now he's like 250, maybe 260 if you hear this, man. Just saying. But it was like 170, and you're rolling with somebody who's 220 and in shape. You're just getting tossed around. It's like it's hard, man. And like I said, I've never been the most technical guy, right? So I relied more on scrambles and trying to be fast and trying to or trying to move around, but. Shit, when you're getting tossed around, it's like, man, I need to gain some weight or something, dude. So, I don't like being light. I want to be heavy, but, I got to be athletic, too.
He just said he wants to lose weight, but he wants to be big.
No, but that's the dilemma.
He wants to be the biggest at the lowest weight.
Comfortably. I don't want to struggle to make it.
Hey, you need to have the single instead of the double.
I get the triple. I get the 3x3. Well, I've been in and out, and I've got the 4x4, and the balance is off when you get that, right? It's like it's just too much meat. But 3x3 is perfect. I get 3x3 animal style, and honestly, sometimes I eat 2 of those bad boys, right, with some fries and a drink. You know what I'm saying? The shit's good though. It's good.
Hey, I have 2 of them, but the 4x4 is too much.
No, I can finish it. It's fine, but it's just too much meat. It doesn't taste the same. It doesn't taste as good, right? The balance is off. So you get the 3x3, the balance is perfect. Right?
And then you can have 2.
And then you have 2.
And then you're at
And it's
191.
It's like 194. I can make 194 right now, no problem. No problem. And I can still have in and out. Right?
2 3x3s. We're good.
I'm
Fries
good,
and a
man.
drink.
I'll be heavy. Or that's medium heavy, I think, right? Like light heavy, I think. But that's the dilemma, man. You want to be heavy, stay on top, right? If you're too light, you get tossed off by all the big guys throw you around. So you got to be middle of the road.
So, what's something in the jiu-jitsu world that people may not know about you?
I'm a grandpa, but I think everybody knows that. I don't know. I don't think there's really nothing. I'm not the most interesting guy in the world at all.
As you have your Dos Equis with your 3x3.
Tres X. No, I think I'm a grandpa, right? I think most the people that know me, obviously. They call me. Some of the guys be like, "Hey, grandpa," right? But yeah, I have a 4-year-old granddaughter, so.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, so just letting people know, the young guys, when you beat me up at open mat,
Yeah,
how do you feel about yourself? You just beat up an old man, dude. Beat up a grandpa.
Tell that to the camera.
I'm talking to you young bucks out there, man. Coming at me all sideways all the time, full of energy.
They're not knowing that you need the 3 rounds to warm up.
Yeah, I'm trying to warm up. This fool's trying to kill me. But here's the thing, right? When I beat them up, like, how do you feel now? Got beat up by a grandpa.
Yeah.
So I need my cane out there, right? Yeah, there's not much to me, man. Pretty straightforward, bro. Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's just me. That's it.
Cool. Yep. So what's your most memorable moment with jiu-jitsu?
I think there's a lot of I guess good memories, right? I think I've talked about it before, but was a tournament for sure, where I was winning. I was doing good in my weight class, and I was blue belt. And I got called for stalling. Actually, Scott Savage was the referee. Scott was the ref, and
Hit you for stalling?
Me and the opponent were standing up, but we're both. It was our third or fourth match already.
Okay.
And so you're locked up, and you're just like, okay, I need some time, right? So I'm just holding on to the dude. We're standing, and neither of us were doing nothing. And so he calls us for stalling, and I'd never been called for stalling. So I panicked. Is basically what happened, right? As I was talking about earlier, you got to understand the situation. Well, I panicked that day, and I was like an anti-guard puller, right? It was like, oh, I'm just gonna shoot all the time, just go in there and shoot my double, and that's it. Whatever happens, happens. Well, I panicked and I pulled guard, right? But my guard pull was garbage. That's good. And actually, Mike Kirby was coaching me too, right? So I, pull guard. So I instead of putting my foot on the hip and pulling guard like you're supposed to, right, and securing all the, I like dropped to the floor and just like a fish, foul, and the guy goes straight to knee cut, passes, does a knee cut on me, and I'm panicking, and he shoots a darce on me. Well, there was 20 seconds left or something. And I'm like, shit, now I was up 13 points. It was like 13-0.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to block the hip, boom, ends up getting super deep on the choke and taps me out with like 10 seconds left or something. But I learned a valuable lesson. Don't panic. and learn how to pull guard. But I mean, that right, that's a memorable moment. Like, even though I wasn't on the winning end, it was a good lesson. And honestly, it's funny as hell. It's funny, dude. It's like I was doing good, and I was like, oh shit, I was gonna be on the podium. It was a big bracket, whatever. Boom, lose at the last second. But I just remember like pulling guard. It was like, that's why I didn't even pull guard. It's like I just like fell to the floor and just right on the ground instead of like securing the position. But I was just like, it's just funny though. It's funny. It's fun now. It wasn't funny that day.
No, I'm sure it wasn't.
You look up and you look at your coach, you're like, damn, what happened?
I was up 13 points.
But other than that, I mean, there's tons of memorable moments, like just traveling around with all the guys, with you guys all coming through. The time we went to Visalia, and gone up to San Leandro, like everywhere, right? We go as a crew, Bam, and got Mike and Val and all the guys from all the different gyms. That's fun, right? It's always fun to do those things.
Yeah, the camaraderie.
Road trips, so it's like you're meeting people from different gyms, and everybody's cool with each other. Like one thing that's actually been seen more of lately has been when you see the basically the team or the crew, right, from different gyms, right? You got the guys from Kuktars over in Salinas, in Soledad. They all show up like sometimes 8, 10 deep. You know what I'm saying? They're showing up. You get the guys from Garrett's up in Santa Cruz, and they're showing up. And you get all these guys just showing up in squads, just boom, coming to train. Yeah. Like I've been enjoying seeing that. Yeah. Right? Because everybody's cool with each other. It's not a bad thing, right?
No,
but it's just cool to see all these teams pulling together and coming to an open mat and training together and everybody's building each other up. So that's something like it's happening now, right? But I'm sure down the road you will look back and like that's cool right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you never know how long you do Koffee Krew for, right? It's like, hopefully it goes on for a long time, but you never know how long things last.
It's a good thing, man.
Yeah. I'm sure we've been doing it already for a long time, like 10 years, man, 12 years.
Shit, I'm only like a year and a half in.
I think the last 5 years, 5-6 years is when it blew up, like when it started really picking up.
Yeah.
It started picking up before that, but then once we started traveling more, started focusing on traveling more, it really started picking up.
Yeah.
So.
What's cool is like I see Koffee Krew South, which Ben runs, right?
Yeah. So Ben's got Koffee Krew South, and they're at Fight Syndicate. Mm-hmm. And then so they actually, because it's funny, right? Because down there they're mostly Nogi.
Yeah.
It's almost all Nogi, but they go to the 10th Planet schools down there. They got a few schools. I think it's 10th Planet Redlands. Mm-hmm. And then they'll go to there's a Fight Sports in Hemet. So they go to that school. So they go to a bunch of different schools too down there, but majority's all Nogi. And so then obviously up here, it's almost, for the most part, it's Ghee.
Yeah.
right?
I'm the only one. That
You're,
comes
you're,
to
the,
Nogi.
you're that one. You and there's a couple other oddballs, right? But it's good though, because I'll be training gi. If I see somebody that's doing no gi doesn't have a partner, I'll jump in. I'll just take my gi top off.
Yeah.
And the hard part after that is putting it back on. Like after that, it's like it's no gi from on out.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, and then we got the Koffee Krew ATX.
Yeah. Texas.
Yeah. So actually, we're going over there this coming weekend. So in 1 week, we'll be over there. It's their 1 year anniversary. We're gonna head
Yeah,
up there and train
that's
with those
cool.
guys. So it'll be fun, dude. Like four or five of us are going over. They're gonna fly out and
Nice.
train with them. So Yeppy's out there too. Yeppy's he's
He just won that tournament that he went to, right?
I think it was the Austin Open.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had won the ADCC trial, I think, and I think that was in Las Vegas or somewhere, just a few weeks back. Mm-hmm. And then he was up in
Wasn't he-
Armenia too.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one.
so he was up in Armenia.
He won that too,
He
right?
won that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that was a great experience for him, right? He can talk about it, but yeah, no, he's doing his thing out there. So he'll be out there in Texas and in Austin. So I'll get to roll with him, get beat up a little bit, but you know, it's just like it's all come together, right? Alex Northam is the guy running the one in Texas, and he's doing a great job. We got the community there going together. You know,
Where are
everybody's
they
pitching in.
located in Texas?
So the school is Soul Fighters, Leander, Texas.
Yeah, in Texas.
So I'm not like, I guess it's north. I don't know, but it's
Yeah.
right there by Austin. I think it's
Oh, okay.
north of Austin. It's right there. But so we'll go out there. We're gonna hit a few spots.
They're everything, right?
What's that?
They're not just BJJ. They're Soul Fighters is everything, right? Like they do MMA.
No. They're at that school. They're just doing jujitsu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The owner there is Bruno. I think it's Guimaraes. So he's a cool dude. You know, got to meet him the last year we went. So it was cool how it all went down because we went over there to visit Alex and go train. Right. There was no intentions on like being, hey, you guys should do Koffee Krew ATX or nothing, right?
Right.
We kind of already had talked about doing something like that, but we weren't sure where or what we'd be doing, right? But Alex, he'd been training with us for a while here in San Jose,
Right.
and then he got a job opportunity and stuff for the family over there, so ended up taking off. But he wanted to do something, right? We just weren't sure, right? So like, hey, well, you got it, boom. So we saved the IG handle Koffee Krew ATX. We got it and just basically just like, it's there.
Yeah.
But we didn't do nothing with it for like a year or something.
Oh, okay.
And then finally we went over there, we met Bruno. There happened to be a few guys from Caio's that had moved out there
Oh, okay.
and were training at that gym that we didn't even know about.
Oh, wow.
So it was just like, I was
Small
like, oh, damn.
world.
I was like, oh, he's like, what's up, dude? It's like, you're at Caio. I was like, yeah. Boom, right? So a few people, and so in talking to Bruno, he liked the idea a little bit. That we didn't pitch it. He was just like, hey, what's this Koffee Krew thing? He already had heard about it from some of the other guys that had moved, and so then he just talked to Alex, and boom, it started. And it's like everything, right? It starts out small.
Yeah.
But dude, I've been watching them. They're blowing up. They're 20, 30 deep every
Yeah.
Sunday.
Nice.
Mostly all Nogi. Damn leg
Nice.
lockers. But yeah, so we'll be out there anyways this weekend. I'm gonna, go train with them. We have a Friday night. We're gonna do Friday night. Saturday we'll travel to another gym somewhere, and then Sunday we'll do an open mat at Soul Fighters,
Nice.
and then barbecue. Have a
That's
little
cool.
grub.
Yeah, I seen they're doing a little barbecue for the anniversary thing.
Yeah. Yes, and then we'll be back here Sunday night, back at it again.
Cool.
So, but yeah, we'll have all of them going. We're pretty much booked up for the rest of the year here, but I'm trying to plan more. I want to get back out to Visalia with the elite team.
Yeah.
The elite team of Visalia, because that was fun. So I want to do more stuff like that. We just got to find the time, right? Find the time and honestly be able to get like sponsors or something to be able to do stuff, because everything costs money.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah. So we'll.
hold on. You know what I want to do?
Go ahead.
Next year, it's a pipe dream. So I want to get an RV. I want to get an RV, bro, and just drive down to Texas and stop, right? Stop. We know there are a few people that used to train at Koffee Krew there in Arizona, Jolie and Kyle. I think they're at Marcio Andres. But if it'd be cool, like go pick up Ben in Temecula, maybe train there. take off to Arizona, train there, and I think it's New Mexico,
Mexico.
and then Texas, right? Get an RV and just take like 7 or 10 heads in an RV and just train. That'd be cool to do next year.
I got an idea for you. I'll tell you.
You let me know about that trip.
That shit would be dope.
Yeah.
It'd be like a week, be a
Don't matter.
1 week trip at least. I had mapped it out to go across the United States to New York, training at every state. They were like, but in route, right?
Right, yeah,
In route.
yeah.
But that was gonna be like 30 days, right? And that'd be rough. But you
Yeah.
could do it.
I'm down for 1 week.
What about, sorry.
What's
Keep
up?
on interrupting. What about the gym?
What gym?
This gym.
Oh, it's here. It's here. We're not going nowhere, man. Right? I mean, you got people to do it, but that's the thing. Like 30 days is long.
Yeah.
That's like a big commitment,
Yeah.
right? But that would still be dope.
Hell
But
yeah.
the 1 week to Texas, that's doable. You know, that's
Yeah.
more. The other one is like, you know what I mean? You better have some income.
Yeah,
So-
some good sponsors.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways,
So-
that's what I would like to do, right? But we'll see.
Good. That's a great idea. That'd be fun. That'd be hella
It'd be fun
fun.
to get to know each other for sure.
Yeah.
Might have to put some mats in the RV.
So, if anybody wanted to get a hold of you, your school, anything,
I mean, yeah, Coffee Krew's on IG, right? Coffee Krew with the K, the Coffee Krew. I'm El Kiko G on there, and then Solidarity Jiu-Jitsu. Come check out the gym. You know, it's a fundamentals program right now, but we're definitely growing,
right?
and so want to make sure we're on there. You know, just taking the students up properly, not trying to just throw them in the fire. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, solidarityjujitsu.com. Check it out on the website. Check it out on Instagram. And then we've been having more open mats here as far as for Coffee Krew.
Mm-hmm.
It's close to my house too, so it's cool. It's a lot
Tomorrow
closer.
will be here.
Tomorrow will be here. The 20, what is it? The 25th or something. I don't know what it
This is
is.
going to get released after, so it's not going to
Oh,
matter.
they're not going to be here.
We'll talk about the couple weeks
I'll
from
be
now.
here. You won't be here.
You'll hear us talking about it, but you won't make it.
Yep.
So we'll end with any advice from you for any newcomers, any old timers like me that are newer to the sport of jiu-jitsu.
For the old timers, you know, to me, like I said, man, I'm focusing on fundamentals again, just all over again, getting back. You know, everybody says it and this and that, but I think there's a lot to the fundamentals, right? I'm not doing no bolos. Like once in a while, I'll play around and do it, right? But it's not my game at all. And I think being able to focus on your fundamentals and, you know, playing the more traditional game keeps you somewhat healthy, right?
Right.
Obviously, personal perspective, right? I've been working construction most of my life,
Right.
so, but I feel like it keeps me healthier, right?
For sure.
I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not playing Spider Garden, holding the sleeves and my fingers are hurting, and right? I'm trying to focus on a fundamental game, and then also just like even the youngsters, right? It's like when I was first started, I really loved the scrambles. Like it was so fun that, and I never been fast, but I was a little bit faster, right? So, and so I would get in those scrambles and then be able to beat people out just a little bit, right? And boom, but I loved it. It was fun. And most guys that were more technical than me, if I can create that scramble, then I'll get in position. Well, as you get older, you lose that, right? And I was told this, but I didn't listen, right? So now it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But now I'm focusing more on like, even if there's a little bit of a scramble, solidifying like certain blocks, certain frames, certain points of connection, where I'm gonna be in position. I don't have to rely on being fast, right? I don't have to rely on certain attributes, and that'll carry you through to your old, right? So and that's kind of like the things I've been focusing on. Just, points of connection, framing,
Yeah.
getting yourself into position, right? Avoiding all the scrambles and all that stuff. But it is fun.
Yeah. Shit. So this is something new that we're doing for the podcast. You'll be the first recipient, right?
About time.
Everybody has a journey. I appreciate you giving our podcast your journey, and we'll get it out there for you.
Right on, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna go sport it.